they'll come back on smart television.
Yeah.
And we are continuing with our topic of discussion, resolving the dilemma of unutilized natural resources in Uganda. And we look at the major question, that is, what are key land policy and mineral use reforms that leads to wealthy generation? We were having a very thorough discussion in the first session. As we continue with our dear guest, Honorable Lawrence Viika Songa, the MP of Ola constituency, Zombo district. I was promising you one time I will visit you. I reached into your constituency. And I appreciate your valuable knowledge and information that you've shared us in the first session. And we are continuing to have the in-depth discussion looking at the mineral resource. You are going to talk about the oil, but we also have an interest to discuss the land policy, because the land policy has generated domestic conflict and lack of a streamlined legal framework that can lead into much more of productive, effective utilization of our land resource. Please, you can go.
Thank you very much. Just to finish the first part of talking about petroleum.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I agree. Uganda has got petroleum resources now, and our petroleum or oil is estimated to be about 6.5 billion barrels. Out of 6.5 billion barrels, what is recoverable, what we can actually extract from this 6.5 is only 1.4 billion barrels, because our oil has a lot of gas and also technology to get it out. We don't have that advanced technology yet. But what we can actually recover is 1.4 billion barrels. Now, 1.4 billion barrels, if you sell it, it can give us about $89.6 billion.
89, I want to hear that good money.
It can give us $89.6 billion. Roughly, you can round it to $90 billion if we can sell that 1.4 billion.
Throughout the whole process, or just
I'm saying the one we have. If we sell it all,
yes.
But of course, the argument we still have is we are going to discover more oil reserves. So that's why you see exploration will continue, so that we can get more oil reserves. But what we can recover from 1.6 is only 1.4 billion barrels, which can give us about $90 billion. This $90 billion, if it came out, it will help us not to borrow. Because $90 billion, we can do a lot of our roads, we can do hospitals, we can do many things.
$90 billion, when you transfer it to our shillings, it's in trillions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that calculation you can do. Now, this oil is only 6.5, but I see a lot of excitement. I have known countries that have a lot of petroleum resources than Uganda. For example, the South China Sea. South China Sea is having about 17.7 billion barrels of petroleum and natural gas. Kuwait is having 14.4 billion barrels of petroleum. Kuwait. Those are big oil countries. But for us, our hope is it will not stop at 6.5. Maybe we shall get more oil reserves. Therefore, where you have small oil like 6.5 and it's giving us $90 billion, but I told you minerals would give us 12 trillion. Of course, that is Uganda.
I know.
Yes, Uganda shilling.
Yes.
So if we can exploit our mineral resources, then we back it up with the agro-based industries, we do value addition, we can easily raise our own money without going to borrow. Therefore, this oil, one thing we should do, let it come out quickly. That's my simple advice, that let our oil come out quickly. Because this is the time we can sell it at that price and raise for us these resources. Then number two, this oil will definitely come with some environmental hazards. Like it will come with it will generate some greenhouse gases. That's why activists in Germany were blocking Total Energies. 3 weeks ago, they were blocking a bank in Germany not to give money to Total Energies to develop oil pipeline in Uganda from Bunyoro up to Tanga. They are doing it because that bank promised to be low carbon. Therefore, as Uganda, we say this oil should come out quickly. We have to sell it to get that money. Pathway for oil exploration should be low carbon. And we are moving, our position is carbon neutrality, where the amount of greenhouse gases this oil will generate to us, we want to take it to a sink. A sink is things like forests, wetlands can absorb the greenhouse gases, can absorb all the greenhouse gases. So we have chosen carbon neutrality as a pathway to get our oil out. But let it come out quickly, and let us not over borrow. Since we are raising only 90 billion, let us not borrow 80. This is very important. So I think that's what I can say with oil, but we also encourage the technical people to continue exploring more. Maybe we can get more oil reserves.
I'm very interested and very much appreciative for your submission. You are really, as a legislator and a senior citizen now, by the virtue of your service you offer this country, you seem, not only that you seem, but you are giving patriotic, submissions, which are objective to the best of my knowledge and advisory, and to any good listener, and especially to those others who are also registrators. I do believe through your registration, some which either comes through your motions, some maybe might have done already what either is expected to be done. Motions which may cause a debate that is now will require a parliamentary resolution. Before I came over here to enable this kind of discourse in terms of discussing, analyzing policy, I was working in Parliament as a principal policy analyst under the office of the Leader of Opposition. And we always came up with the alternatives. But beside the offering alternatives, which are put on parliamentary floor, the forwarding alternatives is not like when a parliament comes up with a parliamentary resolution out of a discussion of the motion and then a parliamentary resolution and then now begins a follow-up to see what the cabinet does, the respective ministry. And your views are such quite pertinent, and I don't really doubt why you became the chairman of the climate change. I applaud you for that. Because of the kind of information you give look to be very much focused to help us come out from the dilemma. And I before I go on, just I'm applauding you with the kind of discussion you offer. It stimulates any responsible stakeholder over there. Of course, you cannot do it alone to think twice. Uganda should not remain poor. The language of poverty, myself, I don't want to be poor. We should not be a poor country with gold, with all these resources. I'm looking at this bill and say, wow. But as you come on board again, I would like to identify one gap. Why is it that as you are growing towards the country commitment to invest much more money into this is minimal, and yet the appetite to borrow remains high?
Wow, that's a good question. I want to start on this point. Number one, the appetite to borrow remains high. Why do we borrow? Why do we borrow money? We borrow money if we have identified priority sectors. That's one reason we borrow. That if we develop that sector, it can boost the economy. But also we borrow money because of pressure. Somewhere, someone is saying, if we don't have a district hospital, because of these frequent elections, there are always pressures, whereas a district may say, if we don't have a district hospital, this time we are not going to participate in the elections. These frequent elections also, they have challenges. Now, we borrow money basically for our priority, but also to respond to to the pressures coming from our community.
I will add on in as we go for a short break, a very short break,
Yes.
to go into the in-depth of that.
Yes.
And you are becoming very sincere as indeed a registrator.
Yes.
And indeed you couldn't have any other way out, because as we analyze the policies,
Yes.
that is one of the policy gap.
Yes.
We spend much more on the public, on the politics. By the way, let me be direct.
Yeah.
This is analyzing our economic policies,
Yeah.
the state and the economy.
Yeah.
And one of the factor here that affects us
Yeah.